is the sexual deviant? Tonight, 12 jurors here in studio, and you, our online jury at home, will decide if Jodi Arias is guilty of being the sexual deviant.
Now, before we get started in this, we're going to learn about some big developments in court today. So, Vinny, a lot happening in that courtroom.
It was all about this photo right here. And I've got with me Ashleigh Merchant, Darren Kavanoki, the defense for tonight.
Well, first of all, I don't know that it's desperate at all, because at the end of the day, what happened was a stipulation from both sides that it was Jodi who took the picture, and a stipulation which the jurors are bound to accept as true was that when she took it, she wasn't holding a knife. So from that standpoint, I think the defense wins. The other thing is, I think the judge may have made a bit of an error in not allowing the defense to present that evidence fully. Rule number one in trying cases is you don't want to have to try them twice.
They stipulate, and Ashleigh, they stipulate, okay, she's not holding a knife at this point. Who would say that she is holding a knife? She's taking a picture.
It didn't seem like it was very important evidence either way. It doesn't show much at all, and I don't think it really would aid the jury in their determination. But the judge said no, that they couldn't get it in. And, you know, quite frankly, I think that was the wrong decision, because I agree with Darren. I think that it's safer to let the defense show their case. But in this case, it's not particularly relevant.
But when you show that image up on the screen, it reminds me of people that see the Virgin Mary in a grilled cheese sandwich or something. I mean, you can't really make it out. I don't see that that's where the argument really is in the case.
Well, I tell you, the defense team is chomping at the bit to show that this bold accusation is false. So let's go to the defense team to see what kind of case they have for this jury who is listening intently. We have Darren Kavanoki, of course, the host of Investigation, Discovery, Deadly Sins. And, of course, we have Ashleigh Merchant, both seasoned defense attorneys who have a lot to say about the bold accusation. Ashleigh Merchant, we heard it, the jury heard it, everyone heard it. What say you as to what this establishes about the bold accusation?
I mean, you know, they talked about Pop Rocks, they talked about Tootsie Pops, talked about French maid costumes. I mean, these are things that you can buy at Target at Halloween. These are things that if you pick up a Cosmo magazine and how to spice up your love life, you know, this is what they're telling you. So I find it hard to believe that makes her a sexual deviant. It makes her a consenting adult. Both of them were consenting adults who are engaged in a consensual sexual relationship. Maybe it tests the norm, maybe it tests the bounds. That does not mean that they were deviants.
All right, so she laid it out. And that battle continues, because now we're going to have the defense cross-examine the prosecution's expert witness, Dr. Drew. Ashleigh Merchant, it's yours.
Dr. Drew, as a medical doctor, wouldn't you agree that if someone was experimenting with anal sex, it's a safer, more responsible act to use lubricant?
And a condom, yes.
Well, in addition to that, don't you host a show, Loveline?
I do.
And you give dating advice on that show?
We give health advice and relationship advice, yes.
Okay. And some of the things that you recommend are for people to spice up their love life. Isn't that true?
Not me, my partner. But that does come up on the show.
Gives advice. So these could have been, instead of deviancy, could have been actually just spicing up the love life.
Absolutely.
My question is, did either attempt to seek help for the other's deviation? Meaning, did they ever turn to professional resources?
Okay. What say you as to that question?
I don't believe that either side believed that they had any deviancy issues. And since they were both consenting adults engaged in a consensual, what they considered safe consensual relationship, neither of them would ever think that they needed to seek outside help.
So she saw a psychiatrist for a little while. When she's revealing her feelings about her sexual relations, does she feel like this is normal, or does she say them with embarrassment and shame?
Well, you could tell during the trial that Jodi was embarrassed when these recordings were being played out for the public, the world to hear. You can tell she was embarrassed, but that doesn't mean that they were deviant. Just because someone's embarrassed that their bedroom activities are revealed to everybody, that doesn't mean that they're deviant.
Okay, it's time for closing arguments. Next up, of course, is the defense. Ashleigh Merchant?
You know, this bold accusation is that Jodi is a sexual deviant. It's not if Jodi killed him. It's not if they had sex. It's not if they had kinky sex. This is about whether or not Jodi Arias was the sexual deviant. And what we've learned today is that there was some sex, maybe some spiced up sex, even Dr. Drew agreed, some spiced up sex between two consenting adults. She was not a sexual deviant. They were just spicing up their love life. And just because they used KY jelly, something you could buy at every drugstore, she's not a sexual deviant.
Let's find out what that verdict is. Juror number 1. Not guilty. Juror 2. Not guilty. Juror 3. Not guilty. Juror 4. Not guilty. Juror 5. Not guilty. Juror 6. Not guilty. Juror 7. Not guilty. Juror 8. Not guilty. Juror 9. Not guilty. Juror 10. Not guilty. Juror 11. Guilty. And Juror 12. Not guilty.
That's it for HLN After Dark.